What if I said there was a way to triple your retention, fill your vacancies, and win new business through social value, all without spending more on recruitment agencies or additional technology? This is about employing people with criminal convictions, and here at Offploy, we believe employing people with convictions is just the tip of the iceberg. I'm Jacob Hill, an ex-prisoner and the founder of Offploy, a UK-based social enterprise, and we enable organisations to boost inclusivity and social value by supporting them to make fair employment the norm through improving recruitment practices, stakeholder engagement, and policy redesign. To date, we have unlocked over 60,000 inclusive employment roles by supporting major organisations like Balfour Beatty, Serco, Sunbelt Rentals, and Transport for Wales. The first thing to mention is that people with convictions aren't always ex-prisoners. For every one person sentenced by a judge, 9 receive community sentences such as fines, restraining orders, or community service. Most never see the inside of a prison cell. The reality is that 12.6 million people in the UK have a criminal record. That's 1 in 4 working age adults. Our clients face 2 connected challenges. When organisations work on justice-funded projects, it's common for commissioners to require them to employ people with criminal convictions as part of their social value or delivery commitments. But it's often treated as a side project. Employers worry about legal risk, are worried about lack of time and resources, and often face pushback from internal stakeholders. At the same time, those organisations also struggle with unfilled roles, retention isn't where they want it to be, and they face growing pressure to demonstrate social value to win contracts. To go from an inclusion project to business as usual, you're going to need to win hearts and minds. The hearts part is usually easy, but hearts alone won't sustain these initiatives. For a strong business case, you need to cover these 3 key elements. First, whether you want to employ people with convictions or not, we need to ensure your current processes are legal and compliant. You need clear criminal record policies, the right level of DBS checks, and compliant data handling. Get this wrong and the risks include fines, employment tribunals, or even criminal sanctions. Second, you need to look at your recruitment and retention to develop a strong business case. People with convictions represent 25% of the working age population. They're already looking at your roles, you just need the right message and processes to benefit from this talent pool. Did you know organisations like Timson, the shoe cobblers on the high street, see a retention rate of up to 3 times the industry average? People with a criminal record stay longer, creating stability for you and your team. And third of all, we need to demonstrate social value to win more business. Employing someone with a conviction for 12 months can generate £24,527 of social value under the government's preferred social impact measurement framework. That's a measurable impact organisations can use to strengthen bids and win contracts under the Procurement Act, which mandates the government to ensure that 10% of all their spend creates additional social value for society. Remember when I said employing people with criminal convictions is just the tip of the iceberg? The real transformation happens below the surface. The best way for businesses to consistently benefit from employing people with convictions is through our 7-step iceberg model. Step 1 is building an inclusive culture. That means bringing everyone with you, your board, leadership team, colleagues, stakeholders, unions, clients, and customers. Ensure you build genuine buy-in at every level through workshops, myth-busting, and meeting real people with convictions so inclusion becomes part of your company's DNA, not just another initiative. Once your culture is ready, step 2 is compliant processes and practices. You should audit your recruitment processes, criminal records policies, and data handling practices to ensure they work together correctly. The goal is clarity, consistency, and confidence so directors know every policy is compliant, every decision is defensible, and everything is documented to a high standard. Step 3 is all about risk management, and it's simpler than most people expect. You should train teams to assess the role by identifying the real risks associated with the position first. Only then should you evaluate your colleagues and applicants with criminal convictions individually and proportionately. Remember, you should be reviewing the role's risk, not the risk posed by people with convictions working in the role. If you're unsure where to start, you could use a risk framework such as ours, following the hard principles of risk management. Risk of harm, damage to assets, damage to reputation, and misuse of data. Step 4 is all about broad talent traction. This involves 3 focus areas. First, ensure your job description and processes don't inadvertently discourage people with convictions from applying. Get your own house in order. Second, engage with the voluntary sector that work to professional recruitment standards and can find and mentor the best candidates for your roles. Third, explore prison-based programs like the New Futures Network, a government agency that can support you with your own prison workshops, day release hires, and even people recent released from prison. Now that candidates are applying, let's talk about step 5, empathetic interviews, disclosure, and vetting. This includes training your colleagues to conduct interviews in which candidates feel safe disclosing their background, and just as importantly, your own team feels skilled and comfortable to hear about someone's challenging past. You can't control who applies for a role, but you can control how your team responds. Ensure you have processes in place to deliver an excellent candidate and recruiter experience, regardless of the outcome. When you're ready to offer someone a job, it's time for step 6, reasonable onboarding. This isn't about creating a separate or special process. Most people with convictions don't come with any additional barriers compared to your current applicants without convictions. However, you may need to consider factors such as probation appointments to be attended, sentence conditions to be followed, or real-world restrictions that require minor, reasonable adjustments. Put a simple checklist in place so these needs are anticipated early and managed calmly, rather than becoming a last-minute issue on day 1 of the job. And step 7 is making it all worthwhile by generating and celebrating impact. The most significant barrier to celebrating impact is data. Getting a compliant flow of data from your organization's successes to the real-life case studies is key to telling a compelling story. That means tracking the impact, linking HR data to your social value teams, then feeding that insight into the business development team to win more business. And that's the Offploy iceberg model. 7 steps that take employing people with convictions from businesses doing good to business as usual. If employing people with convictions is of interest to you, or you just want to improve your approach, we support organisations through our Offploy Justice Launchpad, a 4-part process creating a tailored business case across legal, compliance, recruitment, retention, social impact, and business development. You'll get a strategy document showing your current reality through our 120-point assessment, your desired end goal, and the roadmap of actionable steps that will ensure you can safely, consistently, and fairly employ people with criminal convictions. Beyond the Justice Launchpad, we then work with the most engaged clients on a one-to-one and group basis with their peers from our other employers to bring their justice strategy to life in a safe and timely manner. If you're not sure where to start, your next step is our inclusive scorecard assessment. This is a handful of focused questions that show where you stand on legal and compliance, recruitment and retention, social impact, and business development. Once completed, you'll gain access to our practical toolkit of resources so you can get started with inclusive employment today. The assessment takes just 3 minutes to complete and gives you instant feedback on where your business could benefit from hiring people with convictions. If you've made it this far in the video, you'll probably benefit from joining major employers across the UK already accessing top talent of people with criminal records while building a more inclusive workplace, a stronger business, and a safer society. Thank you for believing the power of employment to make the world a safer place.